What's up, everyone? It's Nathan Larsen here with another video for you home studio producers, artists, songwriters, basically any of you who are writing and producing your own music. This is the channel for you. And in this video, I'm showing you how to make a female vocal really pop in the mix, specifically in a cinematic pop type track. That's what we're looking at in this video. Now, a couple of quick announcements. One, I just started a private Facebook group because the thing is here on YouTube, obviously it's really cool to make videos, but I want to be able to interact with y'all. So if you want to join the private Facebook group called Make Music at Home, it's going to be an awesome place to learn more, get a lot more in-depth free training than you're even going to get here on Facebook, and we're going to actually be able to talk. Link in the description down below, or you can just look up on Facebook, Make Music at Home, Home Production Masterclass. It's gonna be dope. And second, if you have not already done so, subscribe to the channel, give the video a like if you like it, which, I mean, come on. You're gonna like it. And huge thank you to Marcel Tumbalaka. If I butchered your name, I'm super sorry. But a huge thank you to Marcel for suggesting I make a video on vocal mixing, so you're cool. Let's go ahead and just jump right into the video. All right, so we are in the session and we're gonna go ahead and take a look at what it is that we're gonna be doing. So we're gonna be taking this vocal, I'm gonna show you how we got it to sound like this.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm. I'm captured between your world and my own realm. This isn't part of what I signed up for. You want the one that I adored.
Okay, so we'll just do that much for now. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got on it. So obviously right now it's nice and bright. We've got some reverb, delay, all of that stuff going on. So the first thing I want to say is that this is automated. So you can see here, I've automated the volume.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
So here's what this would sound like if I did not automate any of this.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
So you kind of get that duh, it's really dynamic, which is obviously good in the sense of you want that dynamic, but the dynamic is coming through not necessarily just because of the volume, but it's also going to be coming through because of her tone. So compare this.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
To this.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
Yeah, so you can actually hear all of that nice and crispy, I guess you could say. That already right there just helps with bringing out some of the words that she sings a little more softly. So you can even tell in the waveform here, this is pretty small. This is pretty small.
I'm lost in an ocean.
So I'm lost is basically the same volume now as in an ocean.
I'm lost in an ocean.
So automating your vocals is really a fantastic way of getting really present vocals, so your compression isn't the only thing that's squeezing things down dynamically to be able to boost the volume up. It's also going to help to basically have it done before you even get it to the compressor. So that's the first thing, and you can tell like I've automated everything in here. So this is what it sounds like dry again.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
Okay, the first thing is EQ. So I'm gonna cut out the low end here so there's no muddiness. And then what I did was I'm cutting out little parts that were problematic frequencies. So like the way I'm finding this is by boosting it.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
So that's just kind of like a little bit muddy and you don't need that. So I brought that down. And then up here, about 680 hertz, I was getting
lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
So it's a little wonky, got rid of that. And then right around 2K, I got rid of 3 dB there. And these are really narrow cuts. And so this is just getting rid of bad frequencies, essentially. So that's the first thing. So this is not adding anything, that's entirely subtractive. The next thing I did was add a little bit of compression. This is just the Logic stock compressors. It's really good, it's the Platinum Digital version.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
And it's only reducing about 3 to 5 dB. So not a whole lot. Ratio, it's like 3.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
So it's only really hitting in when she sings ocean.
This isn't part of what I signed up for.
and then it hits in there.
This isn't part of what I signed up for.
Let's listen to that without the compression.
This isn't part of what I signed up for.
Versus this.
This isn't part of what I signed up for.
So you can hear it starting to kind of clamp down on that a little bit, but it's mild. Then I'm going to add a de-esser. This is just going to remove sibilance.
This isn't part of what I signed up for.
On those S's. Then I added another compressor. This is Logic Pro's VC2A. All it is going to show you the percentage that you want to reduce, or the percentage that you're compressing, and then the gain.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
So this is where I'm kind of starting to push the volume up a little bit more, and I only have it at about 30%. Listen to what happens if I were to like crank this way up.
Lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
Sounds super unnatural, so you just need to dial it back so it's just a little bit. So this is basically where you're compressing lightly at the beginning, and then you're de-essing, and then you're compressing lightly again. Now, the order of which you're doing this, I really like doing the channel strip, or the EQ here at the beginning to remove those bad frequencies, then compressing that, then de-essing that, and then compressing again. And then I've got more EQ here. This is adding a shelf at about 7,500 hertz to just add some brightness.
Lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
Yeah, you can really tell.
Lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
Versus, this is back on.
Lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
That's where we start getting more presence. Okay, now that's just what's on this channel strip. Once we actually send this off to the vocal bus, there I've got another VCA, another bit of compression.
Lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
Again, very lightly compressing that. Then I've got the SIQ. This is SoundToys. This is another bit of EQ. And you can see really all I'm doing is pushing some more of those highs to add more brightness.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
So here's without it.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
It's really subtle. Turn it back on.
Lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
It's adding that brightness. Then I had the solid bus, which is another compressor.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
So only doing like 2 to 4 dB.
This isn't part of what I signed up for.
Yep, and I got the ratio at 4. And then last, finally have a little bit more EQ. This is Native Instruments solid EQ. This is really good for bus EQ. And again, just adding more brightness. I added about 6 dB at 7,800 hertz.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
That to me is really, really awesome. Adds a nice amount of presence.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
Now, honestly, and then I also, you can see here, I made a cut at about 460 hertz, so between 460 and 500 hertz.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
So let's just go ahead and listen to this, because obviously none of this is, right now it's soloed, but none of this is happening in solo. The only thing I did soloed was the cuts here to remove some of those unwanted frequencies. Everything else is in the context of the mix, so I suppose this is not super helpful for me showing you this way. So let's go ahead and listen in the context of the mix.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
So we don't have any reverb, we have no delay, none of that stuff's happening yet.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
That sounds really good.
This isn't part of what I signed up for.
Okay, now let's start getting into these other effects here. So the first thing is, let me actually go into the vocal, here we go. So now we can see this. So the first one is a room reverb. This chroma verb, which I think this is actually really nice. This is just the Logic's reverb. Short delay. This is just gonna add a little bit of presence.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
And honestly, what it's doing more than anything is adding width.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
Versus this, without it on.
I'm lost in an ocean.
Yeah.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
And so I've got that, negative 16 dB. So not a lot. But what you would do is you'd have dry and wet 100% on all of it on that bus. And so just to see what I did, what I literally am doing is, for those of you that are maybe new to this, you go into your vocal where all the vocals are going in here. You go in, to create a new bus, you just do one that's empty. So I've got a room delay, vocal plate, vocal delay, replica delay, and then I got an exciter. And then you would just basically mix that in accordingly. So this is over here. right there. That's where I've got that. And I've got it again set to 100% dry, 100% wet. And then you just mix it in as necessary. So then, you know, you could change this by cranking it up.
I'm lost in an ocean.
That obviously sounds terrible. So let's back that down.
Of overwhelm.
So a really good way of figuring out how much you want is by turning it all the way off and then playing it and then just adding it in until it's too much and then backing it off.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
So like I could already tell like
Ocean of overwhelm.
that's a little bit too much. So let's back it down. I think I had like 16.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
And that's just adding a little bit of width. And a lot of this, in just getting things mixed to sound really nice and present, so much of it is just small choices that are adding up to be big choices. Okay, the next one here is the vocal plate, which this is QL spaces, so quantum leap spaces, east-west. And this one, I just use a preset. It's just a vocal, natural vocal, and it's a 2.3 second vocal plate. And then let's listen to how this adds the actual kind of longer reverb.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
Yeah, so now we're starting to actually put it in space, which sounds so good. So listen to this if I turn up too much.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
So then dial it back.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
Okay. And then the next thing we're doing is this, which is stereo delay, which I have set to dotted eighth note, quarter note. And then what I'm doing here, again, 100% mix. And in here, this is Logic's just stereo delay, which works fantastic. You can go in here, you can obviously change the feedback. I think just the way it is at 35% works great. Actually, I think I want to turn that up a little bit more now that I think about it. You can do it different on each. So I'm cutting a little bit of low, I mean, just as if this was a high pass filter, and then I'm cutting a little bit of the highs, just so, because the vocal is already sounding really bright. I don't want the delay to just like go over the top with that. So this is what it sounds like with that delay in now.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
Here, let's turn off and solo this out. This is just the stereo delay.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
Yeah. Okay, and the last thing I did, and this is the first time I've ever done this. I'm gonna be honest with you, I kind of am not sure, but I think I like it. And that was created a bus to an exciter. I just turned it on to preset vocal edge. I don't really ever use these, but I just felt like I wanted just a little bit more brightness, and I want to be able to kind of, you know, add a little bit of flavor in and be able to mix it in. And so this is what this sounds like.
I'm lost in an ocean of overwhelm.
And so that just adds that much more of that depth. So let's just go to the chorus here and kind of see how this all sounds now.
I will rise from the ashes. I will stand on my own 2 feet. I will run from this prison, and I'll fight for my freedom. I won't hide and cower. I won't give you power that you'd abuse anymore. I'll stand and fight for all that I care for. You won't be a part of it all.
So there you go. And then just go into a different part of the song.
This is who I am. It's time to take a stand. I will rise from the ashes. I will stand on my own 2 feet. I will run from this prison, and I'll fight for my freedom. I won't hide and cower. I won't give you power that you'd abuse anymore. I'll stand and fight for all that I care for. You won't be a part of it all. A part of it all. Part of it all.
So there you go. 1, join the Facebook group, link in the description. 2, if you want to level up your productions, I'm going to be coming out with some really awesome courses to help you out that are going to take you way further than I can take you on the YouTube videos. I already have one on editing fundamentals, link down in the description below. It's a fantastic way of supporting the channel and frankly, supporting yourself, because That's good. Subscribe and like the channel. I'm so tired. This has been such a long day. Okay. Peace out, y'all. I love coffee so much. Wait, it's 5:30 p.m.? Why am I drinking coffee? What am I doing? Oh, I need to turn the camera off.